Look at Bron's reaction right here. He was furious, and rightfully so.
They thought he was fouled. Excuse me, and it's now overtime.
Honestly, that foul on AD's box out late in the fourth, which led to a Brogdon 3, would have been the final straw for me. At that point, I'm already getting ejected, it's just a matter of how. When LeBron James missed this layup as bad as he did, I knew something was up. I really didn't even need to see the replay. But since we do have the luxury of replay, let's just go ahead and slow it down. Look at that, guys. That's as clear of a foul that I think that I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure that even the biggest Lakers hater would admit that Jason Tatum fouled him here, and that Bron should have been headed to the free throw line for 2. Now, I know that missed calls happen all of the time, and realistically, they're a part of the game. But in moments as big as this one, the refs simply have to be better. The refs were actually so bad that game that Bron would send out this tweet saying that I don't understand. I truly don't. The refs were so bad that game that Pat Bev tried to hand the camera to a ref to show him their own mistakes. The refs were so bad that game that we got a tweet from the official NBA referee account saying that, like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut-wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. When I thought that this situation couldn't get any more hysterical, LeBron James tagged Jason Tatum in his story on IG, and Tatum would respond to that tag, saying what he said in his post-game interview when he was asked about this whole debacle.
The last 2 minutes in overtime, it was a blur. I don't really know what happened. I gotta watch the game, watch the film, because everything was just happening so fast. But we moved on and got the win. That's all I got to say about that.
The way that things played out against the Celtics almost doesn't feel real. You couldn't tell me that the Lakers weren't going to win after a 34-year-old Pat Bev, who had been brought in for defense, effort, and vet presence, got a crunch time, put back, dunk. What's terrible for the Los Angeles Lakers is that not only would this no call help to sway things with the game in the balance, but things like this have happened on multiple occasions this season for Los Angeles and around the league in general. With the Western Conference as tight as it is, teams can't afford to be dropping games, especially games that they should have won. Now, win, lose, or draw, the Lakers know that they have to continue to improve, and with the trade deadline approaching, there's a chance that they could do exactly that. January 23rd, the Lakers would trade for Rui Hachimura, despite Shaq not knowing who Hachimura was, saying that if you ain't a top 10 player, I don't know who you are. I'm not watching the Bullets or the Wizards. Rui's debut in Los Angeles would still be smooth, and I think it's pretty safe to say that this was a very good move for the Lakers. And even if that debut didn't go smooth and Rui ended up being terrible for the Lakers, I'd say the same thing because the risk reward was there. These sort of deals are the type of deals that the Lakers need to continue pursuing. Every trade doesn't have to be a 460 feet Aaron Judge grand slam during the bottom of the ninth. Just make moves that make sense and moves that don't destroy your future. Just give yourself a chance. I've seen that this team can compete. With all of this in mind, I do find it interesting that the Lakers are interested in Fred VanVleet, who has a $22 million player option for the 23-24 season, meaning that if he wanted to, he could be a free agent this offseason. Don't get me wrong, I feel like he'd fit in like a puzzle piece next to Bron and AD if he was brought in. While he's a great sort of buy low target who is sub 40% from the field and 34.3% from 3 this year, while averaging 19.1 points and 6.5 assists, it's just that if he really does believe that he's worth more than the Raptors can give him, and the rumors about him wanting a 4-year, $130 million deal comparable to the one that Miami's Tyler Hero got are true, then Fred does come with risk. If he comes in and balls out, then there's a chance that you're going to have to meet him at what he wants. Even if he doesn't ball out, are you willing to lose him for nothing if you invested into him? Remember that VanVleet was already a solid level talent. If he balls out in LA and finds a way to get some credit for helping to turn the Lakers season around, then that bag that he wants could get silly. and it could also age very poorly. As much as I like Fred's shot creation and his ability to fill it up from deep, he's still a small guard who just hasn't been the most efficient this season. What happens if he loses a step? What happens if the injuries pile up? These are questions that you're going to have to ask yourself, especially considering that you have guys on your roster who have been major contributors that have struggled with their own health and availability. Again, I do believe in Fred, it just all comes down to the asking price or the compensation. If you ask me, I don't think it's a coincidence that Fred recently signed with Clutch ahead of the trade deadline. Now look, I know that Fred wants to get paid and has wanted to get paid. With how Clutch moves, I wonder if that contract rumor was all just a tactical leak. You know, maybe something to just deter some teams, I don't know. Now, despite Vanvleet saying things like the better we play, the less chance anybody out there gets traded, I still think that for the right price, that the Raptors would definitely consider moving him with their season being as bumpy as it has. Again guys, Fred has a market. We are talking about a very talented player here. There are reports or rumors that say as many as 8 teams are interested in him. One of the teams who's interested in Fred is the Los Angeles Clippers. According to HP Basketball, Kawhi has made it clear to the Clippers front office that he would welcome a point guard addition, with some of his targets being Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. The jokes literally write themselves here. Apparently, the Phoenix Suns are also interested in Fred because they're starting to consider life after Chris Paul. Yeah, you see, there being this apparently big market for Fred doesn't really make me feel better about the potential of getting him. Now, that's not to say that if the Lakers did get Fred that I wouldn't be excited. It's just that the more people that are bidding, the higher that price can go. You guys know me, when it comes to situations like this, I try to give you both sides of the coin. If I'm the Lakers, maybe there's a chance I'm more interested in Gary Trent Jr., who's been averaging 18.6 points on 44.5% from the field and 37.7% from 3. Oh, and by the way, he's only 24 years old. There are smart people who are saying that he is the most likely Raptor to get traded. In the comments below, let me know what you think it would take to get Gary Trent Jr. away from the Raptors for really any team. Also in the comments below, let me know what you guys think would be the right price for VanVleet. Not only when it comes to his upcoming contract, that's going to be fun, but also when it comes to any potential trade scenario. As I said in my most recent Lakers video, I have had extreme doubts about Pelinka, but at this moment in time, as dumb or as smart as this might be, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt heading into the trade deadline. I will say this though, I hope that the Lakers and the team let him cook and that he doesn't feel too pressured. One thing that I've learned from being a fan is that some of these bad moves that we see are not exactly the fault of the GM. Sometimes we see owners give GMs a small window to win or make a trade, or they say a trade has to be made a certain way, it has to fit a certain mold. And sometimes we see pressure from stars, which has definitely worked out in certain situations, and in others, well, we're not going to talk about that. Let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.